My love, my mother. I close my eyes and go back to one of my most vivid childhood memories. At our summer house in Noshar, a village on the Caspian coast in Iran, where we spent our holidays. I often went on long swims with my father, but no matter how far we swam, we could still hear my mother practicing her singing at the house. This heavenly sound reached us by way of a sweet breeze carrying the magical scent of the forest, rice paddies, and the sea. I will not talk about my mother's professional life here. Her CV is included in this booklet. I would like to talk about her personality and the kind of human being and mother she was. Mother was in love with plants, flowers, trees, water, animals, air. She always said, someone who loves nature and animals cannot be a bad person. She loved God. She respected all religions, but believed only in God, which for her was love itself. She did not separate love from God. Her work and service were testament to this love. While she disliked politics, her ideal system was the one in which the laborers were protected, art and culture were supported, and the system would move forward with time itself. She always supported the vulnerable, freely giving assistance wherever it was needed. Even after her passing, I received many thanks and blessings from people in our neighborhood whom she had helped without any of us even knowing about it. She carried this love in her heart despite the many blows she received in life. She lost her mother at the age of 10 and her newborn first son Niru when she was a very young woman. Her second son Ruin came into the world with a number of disabilities. Because of Ruin's difficulties in seeing, hearing, and other challenges, no one believed that he would be able to speak one day. But my mother persevered in raising and educating Ruin to become a capable young man. With her patience, strength, and unwavering commitment, Ruin became bilingual in Persian and Turkish, graduated from school, and has worked productively all his life. She was both a mother and a teacher, both educational and spiritual, to her two younger sons born after Ruin too. She believed in the importance of pedagogy in raising children and always said, "You must understand someone first to be able to teach them in a way that enables them to learn." Another heavy blow to my mother was the loss of her association with Tehran Opera at Rudeki Hall in Tehran, where she was one of the 3 original founders. After a few years, she and 8 other stars of the opera resigned in protest over the gossiping and the increasingly political and toxic environment of the opera house. This resignation was not only painful because Evelyn had been instrumental in creating Tehran Opera, but dealt an irreparable to her singing career like the blow of an axe. The highly respected general manager of a number of European, American, and Canadian opera houses, Lotfi Mansouri, insisting that she join international platforms outside Iran, once told her, "I don't know what you're doing here. An artist like you should rather be on prestigious international stages than this place which is turning every day more like a circus than an opera house by the hand of those who are more known by their relations to the authorities than their talent and art, and use their connections to do as they please." In his memoir, Mansouri describes the artistically impoverished Rudeki Hall after the departure of its most promising artists, while lesser artists with political influence achieved prominence. Evelyn also received offers from some of the most prestigious opera houses in Europe and United States, which she declined because of her commitment to her disabled son, her deep love for her family, and her love of her new home, Iran. This decision she made with a little sorrow maybe, but without any hesitation. My mother was born in Turkey to a father of Lebanese origin and a mother of French origin. My parents met as students at the Ankara Conservatory and fell in love. After marriage, Evelyn moved to Iran with her new husband and became an Iranian national when she was 22. While her greatest commitment and contributions were to the arts, culture, and society in Iran, to this day, some individuals do not acknowledge her role in founding Tehran Opera and being its first and strongest singer, because she was not born in Iran. Once her stellar singing career was acknowledged abroad, however, she was hailed as the shining Iranian star. What is interesting is that such claims were waiting for my parents to pass away to surface. I wonder if we go a few generations back, which one of us can claim a pure national origin? My mother believed that a person belongs to where they have borne their fruits in, and indeed she spent the best and the most productive years of her life bearing fruits like a tree in Iran. This may all sound like bitter complaints, something my parents never engaged in, but I take the liberty to do so in their absence, knowing they never would bring them up. But these were the facts of my life as a child and teenager, and they had tremendous impact on all our lives. I need to occasionally get them off my chest. The bitter ending of her career at Tehran Opera, however, did not diminish Evelyn's love and commitment. She embarked on a new career when she was assigned by a charity of the Queen of Iran, Farah Pahlavi, to create a musical conservatory for Iranian children who had no families. Evelyn traveled throughout Iran auditioning children at orphanages and selecting the musically talented. She became teacher and mother to these children, and they strongly reciprocated her love. A nurturing atmosphere permeated the conservatory and spread to all the staff. My mother's maternal instincts reigned supreme in every aspect of her life. It was due to this nature that her favorite role was Azucena in Verdi's Il Trovatore, as she played the role of a mother. Therefore, I have chosen it as the first tracks in this album. The conservatory thrived and enjoyed brilliant success. But 5 years after its creation, the Islamic Revolution of 1979 brought it to a crashing end. Another blow. The co-ed school and dormitories were shut down. Just because the conservatory was mixed gender and boys and girls were dealing with music, the revolutionary committees declared, "If the walls of this institution could speak, God knows what stories of sin and corruption they would tell." Such cruel and unfair remarks for someone who had worked honestly with so much love. Luckily, conservatory students, who some of them had even joined these committees, came to her defense. Miss Baghcheban gave us a home, food to eat, and an education. She was a mother and teacher to us. She always told us to take care of our health, study hard, and always tell the truth and be honest. Not such things that you think of. Had the students not defended my mother so strongly, who knows what dangerous outcome would have been in store for her. Yet another blow was the immigration of her family from Iran to Turkey. A lifetime of work and professional accomplishment vanished in the move. Our family's limited resources were practically wiped out due to currency devaluation, the outcome of revolution, war with Iraq, and international sanctions. Our early years in Istanbul were fraught with financial limitations and worries. At the time, my father was stuck in Iran with his passport confiscated, unable to travel. My mother was alone in a new country, trying to find housing, taking care of 3 sons, dealing with exhausting bureaucratic demands to establish residency, all the while looking for a job. At the time, there were no openings for faculty of voice at Istanbul Conservatory, but an exam to hire a teacher of piano had been scheduled. Even though Evelyn had had a double major in piano and voice in college, she had not had much practice in piano. In her 35 years in Iran, she was primarily engaged in singing and directing. To prepare for the piano exam, she added hours of practice to her multitude of daily responsibilities. She passed the exam with flying colors amongst multiple young candidates and joined the faculty of Mimar Sinan University as a professor of piano. I'll never forget the day she received her first salary. She came home with bags of fruits. "You can eat as much as you want now, kids," she happily told us. At age 57, my mother showed us how to start over from zero. "What matters is that we are healthy and together," she said. She taught us to be grateful to God, see and appreciate what is of real value, and be satisfied with little. My lovely mother was capable of happiness just by looking at a tree. She valued creative work, helping others, and enjoying life with inner content and peace, not fame and fortune. The recordings you hear on this album are reproduced from old reel tapes that we literally carried on our backs from Iran, with little hope that they would survive. The tapes were not professionally produced and only served the archival purpose of preserving the date, place, and programming content of performances. They were recorded with a single non-professional microphone for reference purposes only. Working from these recordings, much of which were destroyed or distorted, I have selected and edited the tracks that are presented in this album. I dedicate this album to the memory of my extraordinary mother, my flower, my butterfly, Kaveh Baghcheban. I hope she's flying free wherever she is. Your son, Kaveh.